Episode 51, Supersize Me.
Stamps on work that catches his eye. Hard work is what he needs to see. Enthusiastic's how you need to be. Respect is his golden rule. Organized to be the best in school. Sycamore teachers teach the kids new things. Sycamore comes out at night, standing super work that students do right. If you want Super Sycamore to notice you, don't be discouraged when something is hard to do. Work hard and be excited. Show respect and organize until the top. You will rise.
At the close of the last school year, you might remember that in an effort to get rid of our hero Super Sycamore from Sycamore Creek Elementary, Queen Mean designed a maximizing ray that would make Super Sycamore too big to fit in the building. But in the process of her evil doing, it was Queen Mean who was affected. It turns out Queen Mean got shrunk by her invention instead. And when she finally got Super Sycamore's attention to ask for his help, he had a decision to make. So he asked for your opinion. Should he help Queen Mean return to normal size? Here's what you had to say. Super Sycamore took your advice very seriously. You see, over the summer, while the custodians were busy making our school shiny and clean and ready for your return, he was studying each picture and carefully reading through each letter to see what your thoughts were about helping Queen Mean. And what he found was that you had put a lot of thought into your opinions on both sides of the argument. So after reading through your notes and giving them a super stamp, Super Sycamore goes to analyze the data. Just like our brilliant first graders, Super Sycamore uses a bar graph to analyze, represent, and interpret the data with up to 3 categories. And what he finds is worth a super stamp. SCE is full of respectful students who want to help Queen Mean, no matter how mean the Queen has been in the past. So Super Sycamore gets to work. He begins by collecting items from around the school, like Mrs. Payne's desk lamp and Trey's kinetics car.
Right now I need a miracle. Hurry up now, I need a miracle.
Here's a super stamp as a thank you, Trey.
Stranded, reaching out.
Next, he's off to Miss Frohmeyer's room, where he finds a pencil sharpener to use. And then he stops by 4th grade to give Mrs. Fannin a high five. And while he's there, he gives a super stamp. Because he's impressed with the quality and the description of Addie's basketball game perspective writing. Super Sycamore then runs next door to Mr. Strasbaugh's room to search for and borrow a toolbox full of tools from the cabinet. Looking for something to use from Miss Mastrangelo's room, he decides against borrowing the projector and instead borrows a timer.
I really thought you were on my side.
From Miss Westwood's Math Plus room, the black card of math manipulatives will work perfectly. And who is that handsome fellow on the poster? It's Super Sycamore, showing where students will put their bucket filler slips that they get for filling buckets. Thanks to Mark in Mrs. Bernie's room, Super Sycamore has found some markers that he needed.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down.
In Mrs. Nichols' classroom, there's so much awesomeness that Super Sycamore can use from Deanie Bandevanis' desk that he decides to borrow the whole thing.
I need you right now.
Being a hero includes being organized. And in Mrs. Boland's class, Lalani's organized pencil box gets a super stamp because of it.
That you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me down.
Dear Amelia Manilak in Miss Mull's room, you are the definition of a hero. Enjoy your super stamp. Thank you, Mrs. Deschong, for the use of your stool. And it's not just because he uses it outside Mrs. Miller's room to stamp Wes and Red's bags and buttons lesson. On to our little friends in kindergarten, where Super Sycamore wants to give some stamps. After reviewing how to be a kindergarten hero in Mrs. Shriver's class, he finds one in Samuel, who makes good choices and takes turns.
Somebody back home. It's been a long night here, been a long night there, in these long, long days.
In Mrs. Tinsley's class, he finds Eli Stowe being a good example for the rest of the class. Here's your super stamp.
Gotta be like, oh baby, no baby,
You got me all
wrong baby, my baby's already got
all my love. So now.
Mrs. Dimmerling's kindergarten kids have their data binders in their cubbies, which Super Sycamore grabs so he can find some super work. And he finds that Adam Spencer always gives his best effort. And that Kennedy Hughes is a respectful and excellent listener. Now that Super Sycamore has done his stamping and has gathered all of the supplies that he needs from around the school, he heads to the art room to create blueprints for how he plans to help Queen Mean get back to normal size.
oh baby, no baby,
You got me all
wrong baby, my baby's
Moments later, we find Super Sycamore looking over his plans, making sure that he hasn't forgotten anything. Because in order to help Queen Mean grow again, his Make-Biginator must be perfect. After checking the setup on the inside and the outside, he's satisfied and goes to find Queen Mean. Returning with Queen Mean in hand, literally, he explains to her what's happening, then he gently places her in the Make-Biginator and lets the machine do its job.
Sure you will be somebody.
Then, once Super Sycamore sees that the machine is working, he heads off to do some other things around the school. After all, awesomeness doesn't rest, so neither should he. Meanwhile, back at the Make-Biginator, some big news is being made.
Hey kids,
put your pinky rings up to the moon.
After being so small for so long, Queen Mean is thrilled to be back to life-sized. In fact, we've never seen her in such a good mood. She's now appreciating everything around her so much more. When she was small, she could use this donut as a swimming pool floaty. But now, it's simply a sugary snack. To reach the phone or sit in a rolling chair would have needed mountain climbing ropes, but not anymore.
don't look too hard, might hurt yourself.
Known to give the color red the blues.
Ooh, yeah.
Stacking cubes together would have been as difficult as pushing boulders. But now, it's just a math activity.
Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Am I fault you all be joking? Keep up. Hey kids, come on.
And turning on a light switch, it's as simple as a flick of a finger.
Hey, what y'all trying to do?
When she was small, Queen Mean could have been used as a bookmark. But now, she turns the pages with ease.
Look out. They ain't ready for me.
This is in such a good mood that she wants to celebrate with everybody. But it appears that not everybody wants to celebrate with her.
Why you mad? Fix your face. Am I fault you all be joking? Keep up. Hey kids, come on.
It seems that some people don't realize she's a changed person.
What y'all trying to do? What you trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so clear. Look out. Everywhere I go, they be like.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, they be like.
You, Brian? Great.
Nah. Watch me break it down. 24 karat, 24 karat magic. Don't fight the feeling, invite the feeling. Just put your pinky rings up to the moon. Kids, what y'all trying to do? Show me what you're trying to do. 24 karat magic in the air.
Even if nobody else wants to celebrate with her, Queen Mean decides that she can celebrate the kindness, generosity, and selflessness that our students and Super Sycamore showed when they convinced Super Sycamore to bring her back to normal. If you ask her, that is bucket filling at its best. So she fills out a bucket filler slip so that we all know how she feels.
Hey kids, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Hey, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so clear. Oh, look out. Kids pop, it's showtime. Showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know? Go and tell. Oh, they don't know? Go and tell. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Show up. Wearing Cuban links. Yeah. Designer things. Yeah. Inglewood's finest shoes. Whoop, whoop. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blues. Yeah. I'm a dangerous one with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty ones around me and they know just how to talk.